Hi class, this is Dr. Karsten, and today I'm going to be going over some of your homework. This homework is from Unit 1, Lesson 3, Session 1. So we have been working on rounding numbers, and let's take a look. You did not have to do problem number 1 for homework, so let's take a look at problem number 2. For problem number 2, it says that we should round 52,741 to the nearest thousand. And then it says use the number line to help explain your answer. So I just want to remind you, I'm going to write this number. We have 52,741. And if I want to round this to the nearest thousand, so I'm going to go ahead and circle my thousands place. And remember that if these numbers, if you need a little help, you can always write that you have your ones, your tens, your hundreds, your thousands, and your 10,000s above the numbers, above the digits, I should say. All right, so if I want to round 52,741 to the nearest thousand, I need to figure out, here they want us to use the number line. What I want to do is I need to figure out what are my end points. Well, they are going to have to do with the thousands place, right? Because we're rounding to the nearest thousand. So we want to know what would be the thousand just under this number, just a little bit less than this number, and what's the next thousand, the one just above this number. So to figure out the one below this number, that's really easy. We're just going to stick with that too. So we're going to write 52,000, and we just have zeros after it. So that's nice and easy. So again, if I want to know the number that's below this, remember the saying, let it rest? We're going to let it rest. And then if I want to figure out what is the next one after 52,741, I'm going to raise the score. Raise means go up one, like when you raise your hand, you move it up. So I'm going to go up to 53,000. So remember, you circle the number that you're rounding to, whatever the digit is. You're going to circle that digit, that place value, and then you're going to let it rest and raise the score. And that's how we do it. So we leave it just the way it is and add all the zeros. And then we raise the score, we go up to the next number in that place, and we add all zeros after it. All right, so let me go ahead and add these into my number line. So if I'm adding these into my number line, I'm going to put my 52,000 right here, and that's right here. And then I'm going to add my 53,000 right here. And that's giving us a good start. So now we just have to figure out what is the value of each one of these. And that's where we're going to be going by the next place value, and that's the hundreds. So we're just going to be adding 100 onto each one of these. So this would be 52,000, this would be 52,100, 52,200, 52,300, 52,400, 52,500, and that's halfway. Remember, we hit that 5. 52,000, and we like to write that. I'm not going to write it though because these are big numbers. 52,600, 52,700. Here's that 7. Then we have 52,800. So we know that 52,741 is going to be in between those two numbers, right about here. So this is 52,741. And now again, I did mark this midpoint right here. This is one of our benchmarks. That's what we can compare it, because that's the 52,500. I'm going to write it in. Can't help myself, my friends. So this is the number we're interested in. Where does that one go? What is it closest to? Is it closer to 52,000 or 53,000? And from here you can see it's past that halfway mark. It's much closer to 53,000. So if I wanted to say what I was rounding to, I would say that 52,741 is closer to 53,000. And that would be a great explanation. I'm trying to think about how else I could write it. I mean, I could also say that it's past the halfway mark, and I think that that might be what I'm going to write. So again, you want to definitely write the answer. So I'm going to start by saying, let's explain it, that 52 52,741 is more than halfway. And now I'm going to say between. And then I'm going to do my two endpoints. 52,000. Oops. There we go. And 53,000. So 52,741 rounded, I know my handwriting's not great, to the nearest 1,000 is 50. Why do I keep doing that? 53,000. There we go. Okay. So that one's done. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what we have. Oh, you can't even see all my writing. Sorry, guys. There you go. Okay. So here we go. Next problem. So here we have number 3. And it says a chewing gum company surveys 25,526 customers. So that's an important piece of information, I'm sure. But let me first read it. About their favorite chewing gum flavors. The data is used to help the company decide what flavors to continue making. To the nearest 1,000, about how many customers does the company survey? So again, this is a rounding question because we're estimating, we're rounding, we want to the nearest 1,000. So that's important information, and this is important information. Now, it's not telling us how we should solve this problem. But based on how we were doing things in session 1, I would probably recommend that you go ahead and that you make a number line. I, however, might do it 2 different ways. Let's get into this one. Or actually, you know what? We can check our work using a different technique. So we're going to do it 2 ways because the bottom is check your work. So that's nice and easy. So let's go ahead and let's think about how are we going to do this number line. So the first thing we have to do is we have to write our number. So we have 25,526. And then we have to circle what we are rounding to for this one. So for this problem, again, we are rounding to the nearest 1,000. So now we have to think about what are our 2 endpoints going to be. So remember, the first one, we're just going to leave it the way it is. We're going to make it 25,000. We're leaving the number we've circled, the place value that we're interested in, so that digit's going to be left. And we're just going to go ahead and put zeros after it, because that's going to be the 1,000 that is one below. Now I want to go one above. So again, this was like let it rest. Now we go to raise the score. So I have 25,000. The next one is 26,000. So there we go. So now what we need to do is we need to make our number line. So here we go. I'm going to just put it on angle because I do a better job. All right, so there we go. So remember that we want these to be our endpoints. So I'm going to have 25,000 right here, and I'm going to put 26,000 right there. Now, what is going to be my midpoint? Do you guys remember? Right in the middle? I'm going to keep my 25,000, but to get halfway, remember we put a 5 in the next place value position because 500 is half of 1,000. Now I need to fill in. You have to put 4 marks in between each. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the reason for this is that we're going to have 25,100, 25,200, 25,300, 25,400, 25,500, 25,600, 25,700, 25,800, 25,900, 26,000. Okay, so now we have to figure out where would 25,526 go, because that's the number we're working with. Let me just slide this over to make it a little more clear. So again, we're working with 25,526. Well, right here, that's telling me we have already gone to the 25,500. We're in between 25,500 and 25,600. And it's going to be right about here. So that's our number. And what I can see is that it's more than halfway to 26,000. So that's why 26,000, oops, is going to be my answer. So again, I'm going to say, you know, the answer is that 20, or let me write it this way. I'm going to do it all in one nice sentence. I'm going to put it on an angle just because I write more neatly. I hope. Okay, so we're going to take our number, and we're going to say that 25,526 rounded to the nearest thousand is 26,000 because it is more than halfway between 25,000 and 26,000. Okay, period. End marks. Keep them. They're important. Okay, I know it's a little messy, but I did read the whole thing, and you can always listen to this again if you need a little bit more. Okay, so now what's one way that we could possibly check this? So since we have moved ahead a little bit and we have worked on session 2, what we're going to do is we're going to use the algorithm to check it. And the way that we're going to do it, oops, sorry, I keep wanting to put it on an angle. Can't help myself. So let's go ahead and do the algorithm for our check. So I'm going to have 25,526. Now remember, the way that we do the algorithm is that we circle the place value that we're rounding to. In this case, it's the thousands. And then we look next door. 5 or more, yes, 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. Remember what 5 or more means. 5 or more means 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, that you'd find one of those digits in that next place value. 4 or less would be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those, remember, we would let it rest. So here we have 5 or more, raise the score. And so we could say that. We could say 5 or more, raise the score, and that's why it would be 26,000. So I want you to remember that. The other thing you could say, if you wanted to talk and explain it, is that you could say that 25,526, you could say that, and let me bring this other drawing down, you could explain that 25,500 is halfway between 25,000 and 26,000, and since 25,526 is past that, you know that it's closer to 26,000. So that would be another explanation that you could use for your check. All right, I'll take any of those. Any way you want to check it, as long as it checks out, we're good. All right, I will see you tomorrow morning in our Google Classroom. Have a great day. Bye, guys.